Welcome to Saint Center's Sobriety Podcast, recovery based. I'm not alone today. There'll be some more people, but let's start it off with today's word, and today's word is veracity. Veracity, which means truthful, accuracy, and conformity to facts. It's basically honesty's more scholarly cousin. Pardon me for that word, conformity. Why it resembles honesty? Well, honesty is about not lying. Veracity is about the quality of the being true and the accurate. So again, wow. Honesty is about not lying. Veracity is about the quality of being true and accurate. It's honesty with receipts, veracity. So, I'm going to start today. Basically, again, I like to do what helped me. So, today we're going to start off with honesty. Now, let's talk about a little thing called honesty. We all love to have, excuse me, we all love to think of ourselves as a paragons of truth. We look in the mirror and think, yeah, I'm basically George Washington with a smartphone. But let's be real. If a little digital fairy appeared right now and threatened to broadcast your inner monologue from the last 24 hours to your entire contact list, how fast would you throw your phone into the nearest body of water? Exactly. We lie consistently, not malicious, supervillain lies, just tiny, self-preservation fibs, like clicking. I have read an agreement to the terms and condition. No, you didn't, Karen. You just wanted to download the parking app. Or telling your friends, I'm on my way. When you're currently sitting on your bed, wearing one sock, scrolling through TikTok, and your car keys, missing. But the biggest lie we tell are the ones we tell ourselves. Like, I'll just eat one chip. Or, I'm better under pressure. Which is just a fancy way of saying, I love to have a panic attack at 3 a.m. Look, we lie to ourselves because the truth is usually a lot of work. It's usually a lot of work. The truth requires us to change. But if we want to actually grow, get past our blocks, or just stop sabotaging our own lives, we have to stop playing the mind games with the person in the mirror. You can't fix the engine if you keep putting a piece of tape over the check engine light. So today, let's try a little experiment. Choose one tiny thing you've been lying to yourself about. Maybe it's that scription that you haven't used since 2022, or the fact that checking your email somehow always turns into 2 hours on Zello looking at mansions you can't even afford. Confess it, laugh at it, and then actually deal with it. All right. So, honesty. I'll break it down to you personally, and I'll come out my little bag. Honesty, not really feeling like um, the weed maybe being an addiction, uh, and maybe that is a lie that I'm telling myself. You know, I actually have. A couple of days ago, I had made a pact that I was going to stop smoking weed, and then I mean, the next day I was like, damn, well, I still got some, so maybe we'll hold off a little later. And then it came to the day of actually quitting. I got maybe an hour in before I went to the ashtray to smoke a roach, knowing that I was supposed to get rid of that previous or prior to the start, which I didn't. So that was kind of like me renovating myself, like this maybe. um, my wife says it's mood altering, and everybody thinks it's mood altering. I don't. I mean, I don't think it's mood altering to me. Doesn't change any mood of mine. I don't think. Does slow a lot of things down for me. Anyway, like I said, it could be a lie. I could be addicted. Now, I might be addicted, but am I willing to give that addiction up? I guess that would be the next question. So, again, when I started this journey, like about 9 years ago, maybe, give or take, 9 years ago, the journey. Besides the weed started when I was like 15, 14, 15, something. And eventually, it graduated to maybe a little bit of coke, but nothing serious. Dippers was a bad thing for me. But if I wasn't around it, I mean, I ain't go looking for it if I wasn't around it. Yeah, just didn't want to stop. So then we get to my 39, 40, where I started messing with the meth and real hard on the dipper. I even dabbled in dope. I even dabbled in shooting coke, shooting meth, and shooting dope. The dope wasn't really my thing, so I skipped that out. I OD'd a couple times by mistake, because you can never party dead. I mean, that was a rule that was always told to me. So, drug like that could do that. I wanted to get rid of that, except for the coke. The coke was a great, 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 great high. Not to brag or boast about it, but that's what it was. Felt good to me. It helped me get through the day without dealing with the bullshit. Now, knowingly, the bullshit is still there. I got a rearview mirror, and it chases you. So, and it follows you. So at the end of the day, you can't lose it. I knew that. I knew all this. I knew all this before even going into the Hope program. I knew a lot of what not to do or what should to do, say. It's just I didn't want to. Hey,
Oh, you just kicked yourself out.
welcome back. I was just going over honesty. You know what I mean? I just had a little thing, a little TED Talk style or streaming opening. Today's day of the word is veracity, which second to honesty. They say it's honesty. I can read it over for you. Um, but so at the end of it, I said that I would we should try an experiment, which was Sean was supposed to be here. And the experiment was going to be to because today the word is honesty. Today's podcast is about honesty. So I started to tell a little truth about me, a little honest, that I've been probably lying to myself about the addiction, about my weed habit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm coming to grips that, yeah, okay, it could be an addiction. But from what I was understood about when I got into the Hope program, and like I was trying to tell everybody, like I knew the shoulds, the what to do, what not to do. I knew all this. You know what I mean? Before I even came into the uh, program rehab world, it was just I was ignoring all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just fuck it. You know what I mean? I don't care. That ain't for me. When I'm ready, I'm ready. Or when I'm done, I'm done. Most of the time, like I said, I was trying to, let the drugs do it. But then I also came to a point where I was like, when I OD'd a couple times from the dope, I was like, you can't party hot. You can't party dead. So, me wanting to take my life and then party. And then everything was like, maybe everything was just all in my head. You know what I'm saying? And maybe the weed distracted a lot of that. Because at the end of the day, I fully never came off of just clear of doing not no drugs. I just came off of doing no meth and no alcohol and no, dippers. So in reality, like it's like, okay, so am I really facing what is going on? I guess that's where I'm at with it right now. But I do know I did about the program. The program told me recovery was regaining control. And addiction was, losing control. That's what it was told to me. Plus, it was a lot of co-current, cognitive thinking. I think I'm saying it right. So I stuck with that. So that's what sticks with me with the addiction part of the weed. I'm not out of control, you know.
I
Uh,
think it's sticking with you because it's what you wanted to hear.
but that what the recovery is control. Recovery is
No, I'm
regaining
just
control.
saying, like, yeah, because sure, you got some control back in your life.
I mean,
I
I,
mean,
I, I fully. I mean, only control that I don't think that I really have is
your anxiety.
oh yeah, the anxiety. Yeah, the anxiety.
Right. But
But
weed
even
causes that too.
the weed, I don't know.
Weed can cause all that.
I mean, it can, but I'm not gonna say that's the cause of me because I don't.
Saying that,
You know,
I'm not trying to
yeah.
diagnose you, but
I mean,
I have to say, listening to what you were just saying and you actually seeing that it could be a problem, it brought tears to my eyes because that's what this I feel like that's what we're trying to do here is bring awareness to people,
right, absolutely.
you know?
The
And it's a
stubborn.
beautiful thing to watch it, happen to you,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Because we're the stubborn people. I feel like we're the ones that most of our lives like it is our way. And we're not trying to hear anything else from anybody else. And so that's what and that's what I was trying to tell my wife. Like I said, that's what I'm giving to people. I'm giving to people. So for all those out there that are like me, stubborn, that always doing this or always debating that or always saying that ain't right, this is right, and all that. And you know who you are. This is for you. This is you're not alone. You know what I mean?
Open-minded. Like you
Yeah.
can be
Oh,
honest and you can be you know, willing to do things, but if you're not open-minded, like I can be closed-minded a lot of the times. And even just being on this podcast and having my experience, NA was what saved my life. And I believe that NA is the way, but there are other ways. And that's what I need to be open-minded about is that there are other ways. It's not just my way.
right. And
Right?
that's where I'm at too. But for and whoever has better things, of course, you can like comment. But for the family,
So how
for the
have 4 days been? Have you been off of weed for 4 days?
hell no,
Okay.
hell no.
So
I'm
is that
already
why you're
relapsed.
coming to terms with maybe there is a problem?
Well, yeah, well that too, because also, I mean, I even methodical. I think that's the word, or came up with reasons that maybe we're not going to worry about this addiction. I have so many other addictions. I'm impulsive. I'm freaking. And my wife was like, "Those are characteristic traits," and I'm like, "Well, no, because I'm trying to stop that. I'm trying to stop
Wait,
that, and it's mind altering.
but
Remember?
that's not an addiction. That is exactly what
Oh,
she
it's
said.
mind
It's a
altering,
trait.
right? I believe it's mind altering.
No, that's
See, but
addiction is is weed, like substances, doing
Right,
things.
right,
It's
right,
not
right,
about your
right,
your personality.
right. But I had that fight
I'm
with my wife.
sarcastic as shit, and I hate that about me sometimes. Sometimes it's so ugly, I'm like, ugh. But that's a character defect. That's something I gotta work on. That's a
Right.
daily thing
Okay.
that I have to work on.
But I fought my wife. I literally fought my wife and was like, "Shut the fuck up! You don't know what the
Nope, you're
fuck you're
wrong.
talking about." Well, I, kn- I
You're fucking
know,
wrong, dude.
I know. The minute I was
Is
saying
she
it,
there?
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I know the minute that I was saying it. My problem was that she just wasn't like okay, not the fight. Okay, I'm letting her understand. Like, yo, I'm saying.
Letting her?
Showing her, showing her. I know, well, whatever. Hey, don't be talking about how I run minds over here. No, I'm just playing. But but showing her that who 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 I am. When I know danger is coming or I feel the danger, I make the adjustment. Somehow, some way, I find to make the adjustment. I'm only sweating because the air conditioner's loud and you know what I mean. So, got to do it like this until I get some more money. I guess that's what you call it. But yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, when I made that bet, it was more like to try to prove something and then try to put the knucklehead again. Most of all of this was trying to give him another outlet because he was always doing the others, like so he was this ain't he was fighting it.
Are you justifying yourself right now?
Yeah,
Are
yeah,
you
yeah. No, that
justifying your
yeah,
behavior for
yeah,
Sean?
absolutely. But I'm
Okay,
not
do you
putting
see
on.
that? Do
Yeah,
you
but I'm not.
see that you're doing that?
Yeah, but I'm not putting it on him. I'm just saying those were some of the things that
Well,
were
you're
going
well, you're
through.
kind of putting it on him. You're like, oh, I was doing it for him.
Yeah, but those were don't. Well, okay. Let me rewind. Let me re-say it again. In my mind, these were what I was doing. Not
That's your addiction telling you that it's okay. You do know the difference, right?
that's that.
That's what recovery teaches you. It teaches you the difference between your voice and your addiction's voice, which are the same. Like every once in a while, the addiction voice will be like, "Oh, well, you can go have a glass of wine with your friends. Like, there's no harm in that. You didn't have a drinking problem. Like all of these false things." And then my real mind is like, "Fuck that. Like you do have a drinking problem. You can't do those things." And it still happens 20 years later.
Yeah, see
That's
that.
that's what, and then your addiction mind's going, well, you don't have a problem with weed. I did that for years. I smoked weed every day for months, or for months, years, whatever. Then I was like, oh, I can put that down, and I would put it down, and I'd go to E, and then I would do E every weekend or whatever, and I kept leaving, and then saying, well, I'm not an addict, I could put it down, and then I went to something else. I substituted. And that's why I convinced myself I wasn't an addict for so many years. But the people around me that were using the same shit that I was, those people were bad. Sean,
Yeah.
I'm using that.
Yeah, yeah, no,
He's
no,
bad,
I wanted to. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree
right?
with you.
You got to look at yourself and really
Yeah,
take a look. Like I
right, right.
couldn't put those drugs down, and it wasn't even just about that. It was how I felt inside. I felt empty and worthless and not good enough, and it was just such a horrible cycle of feeling like dog shit,
I'm in a
physically,
pro.
mentally, spiritually, everything.
I'm in a program right now, RCA program. Outpatient John. It was recommended. Kind of again, I wanted to go back in there, and I mean my reasons. I mean, kind of. It was just like I didn't that. So when I go to these meetings, most of the time, all these people are like in their beginning. Just coming out. You know what I mean? Like they're getting their first 90 and 90. I'm already 6 months in. You know what I'm saying? 6, 7 months in from the relapse. You know what I mean? Without the weed. But I go back. I went back because it was recommended, but then now I get back and I'm sitting here saying, and then I'm hearing all these stories and shit, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I
Are
feel
you
like
getting anything out of it? Are you open minded to what's being said?
Yeah, no, I mean,
Because
I'm
that's
open
what
minded.
NA meetings are. You have to
Yeah,
go
no,
into them open minded. Sometimes I don't get shit out of the meetings because
right,
I'm
no,
closed
yeah,
minded. And then there's other times I hear someone say something and I'm like, oh my God, that's incredible.
right. I'm
And
right.
I leave
Same,
feeling full and,
same here,
and amazing.
same here, same here. Just today, this today was a good one. You know,
I mean, you're not
so
always going to get something out of it because
yeah,
unfortunately sometimes it's, whatever. And it's always about where you're at
yeah,
too.
no, 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 I know that part now. At first, and then you'll hear me from sometimes saying, "Man, I don't want to hear really what nobody else got to say. I'm going to do it my way." You know what I mean? But again,
Yeah.
we're right here.
But your way hasn't worked for you in 48 years.
No, no,
That's why you always have to go and maybe take suggestions from people who it has worked for.
right,
You
yeah,
know, that's why a network is good and a
and
sponsor.
you know it's crazy because I have nobody else around me. So I mean, if it
Your wife
that's
seems pretty knowledgeable about a lot of things. She's probably been doing her homework about addiction
yeah,
to
no,
know that that's a character defect and not
yeah, yeah,
addiction. Like she's clearly been doing some, so
yeah.
she's a really good support for you.
Yeah, no, she is. No, she is a pain in my ass, but yeah, no, she is.
Well, all spouses are.
Like I said, no, we go through our times, but you know, most of the time, yeah, I'll fight her tooth and nail. And 15, 20 minutes later, I'll be like, okay, yeah, sure, all right, whatever.
Damn it, she
Whatever,
was right. Mm-hmm.
yeah, whatever I do though, whatever I do, I'm impulsive. I don't care. I think everybody's trying to it's like me against the world. So I'm like, fuck you, you know what I'm saying?
I feel that way too, even
You know what I
still.
mean?
Like my kids will ask me for something. My first reaction's always no. And then my daughter will sit there and wait, and she's like, "Are you ready to answer me now?" Because she
Right,
knows that I'm automatically fight mode.
right,
Like no.
right,
And
yeah,
then I'm like,
right,
"God damn it!"
right.
You
Yeah, I'm
know.
on. Yeah, I'm on the same. I'm on the same thing. So I mean, like I said, I mean, at this point, like I was trying to tell people from the door. I mean, most of the stuff, it was more like when if I said it was over, it was over. I'm done. You know what I mean? But then I think about what you said about the rehabilitation part. And then that's where the weed comes in parts at. So that's where I made that connection. I was like, okay, all right, all right, all right, all right. She got a point there. You know what I mean? All right, all right, all right. You got a point there. But then I'm still on this thing like, all right, well, now that I came to this realization that I don't think that it's still making me want to say, oh, I want to put it down. You know
You're
what I
not
mean?
ready yet, but
Right.
it's
I
like,
mean,
but you need
so
to at some point.
so my thing is, so how would people look at me still? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not really. I mean, I am my kids. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, at the end of the day, I feel like I'm still doing a
Well,
good
sure,
thing.
you're doing better than you were when you were doing the other hard
Right, the
stuff.
other stuff. You know what I mean? For
Of
me
course,
right
it's
now,
always better,
for me
but
right now, all I take weed is like liquor that you can do every day. You know, some people can do every day. You know, and I mean, I could hit you with so many fucking excuses right now. Like seriously,
I
like
know
I
you
really
can.
could. Like I could
But you
fucking
see, I
sit.
don't take your bullshit.
Right, right. But that's what I'm saying. Like I think this is just and this is the only thing that I would really fight for. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I mean, I wouldn't even fight for it if it came down to the point where
Dude, you're fighting.
no, 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 no.
It's like you're
Because listen,
drowning
at
and
the
your
end of the
doggy
day,
paddling. You're like, but.
all right, all right, all right, all right. So at the end of the day, all right. So at the end of the day, I look at it like this: I'm I'm okay in my life right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm the happiest and most peaceful I've ever been in my entire life right now. You know what I'm saying? Um, uh, I believe some of my actions have you know, I still have those impulsive moments, you know, which I don't fully understand what that comes from or nothing, you know what I mean? But normally I think my decision making, I mean, I'm not in a position to be like, you know, it's a problem. That I guess that's where I'm at with it. I guess I'm at with the position
You
where
don't.
I'm
Yeah, you
not
don't
me
want to be
person.
in that position.
I mean, if I'm in that position, I remember when I was young, I was in that position many a times. you know, where I didn't have the money to get it, and I would go and sell some fucking CDs and shit like that to get
Dude,
it.
you don't have any air right now. You just said you don't have the money for the air.
No, I got it. I just don't want to turn it on. Hey, and my bills. Hey, listen, I gotta pay $600-700 a month sometimes. I'm good. Yeah, I ain't trying to do that. I ain't trying to
Sweat
do
your ass
that.
off just so you can sweat, so
Yeah,
you can
yeah, no,
smoke some
I
weed.
listen. I can turn it on. Plus, it's loud. It's loud, so I ain't trying to. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get a good recording today. You know what I mean? Because I thought today was a good joint. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I wanted to have it good. You know, and again, it's supposed to be a good joint with this knucklehead Sean, and I told him exactly what time I was supposed to come. But at the end of the day, I understand where he's coming from too.
Where's he at?
Uh, at home, he's supposed to be going take his dad with his mom hunting, and it's like an 8-hour trip. He's going to keep his mom clean. I mean, clean. You know, safe. But he's on this thing right now. If it falls in his lap, it falls in his lap. He has none right now. As of today, supposedly he would be all out. And he's on. If it falls in his lap, it falls in his lap. If it doesn't, before he gets to that point where it's not affecting him anymore, I guess. I mean, he's I don't know. He's in the same situation as me, and I tell him all the time. I mean, bro, you're just not ready to quit, and that's good because we could still show people. You know what I mean? Like what to look for, and you could, you know what I mean? Like, and just coming here every day can have you, you know, make you think. I think that's what he's not trying to do.
You know what's so loving an addict is fucking tough.
Yeah, no, yeah, I know.
It's the hardest thing. I mean, listen, getting clean's hard as fuck, but loving a using addict is so painful.
Yeah,
I mean, my dad, like I've been listening to sad songs all day today because, and I actually have a dad playlist. It's called Dad, and it's all these songs that remind me of him and that just make me feel connected to him when I'm really missing him. And like alive. He's a using addict. He's homeless, living in a tent in Fairless Hills. Like that's his life, and that's what he's choosing. Well, let me rephrase that. He chose that with his relapse, and now he's in his addiction, and that's where he's at. He just got hit by a car 3 weeks ago, broke his hip and his shoulder.
he about to get paid now.
He's 68 years old, and he's still using meth and drinking all the
Well, he about
time.
to get a couple of dollars for that too.
Well, he's in an acute rehab for the hip and the shoulder,
So
and
so he might get clean right in there.
well, he's clean. I don't know if he's on pain meds, but he's not using meth or alcohol for the
They
past
don't really,
month.
yeah, okay.
But he also has a bad liver, so I don't think they would be giving him much
Yeah,
pain medicine.
yeah,
So,
no. Yeah, no. Once they look that file up and they see that, hey, it's a wrap.
well,
You
he
get what
has
they give you.
cirrhosis, so it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
no, they
there.
give you what they give you there now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Seriously.
So he's technically clean, and yes, he sees dollar signs. He's already got a lawyer, but that's what
That's
he
what I
chooses.
said. I mean, it's going to give him more ammo to go do because, you know, he wouldn't think about getting a place or, you know, trying to do nothing
No,
like
he's
that.
probably thinking about more meth and
Yeah,
girls.
yeah.
You know, I
And
mean,
it's sad. I was there.
he might be clean from the drugs right now, but he's not clean from his thoughts and all of the addict behaviors. Like that's all still right there, waiting for him to get out of rehab so he can go find his next one.
And if anybody
And
don't
I
know,
say acute rehab, not treatment.
right? And if anybody don't know, like, you know, Steph's story, like, for her just to say that right there, you know, that was like some honesty coming out from her too, because her and her dad ain't been on the same level due to certain circumstances. But neither here or there, you know. And I thought that too, previously talking to you. But I mean, you put up the wall like, yeah, woo, 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 and I was like, you know,
Well, that's because
when he was
I
when he
having to
was
walk away from him is has been really painful.
I,
It's
and
been really
I
painful.
thought that would have been, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, but the way me and you were talking that day, it was like, and then for you to say that today, you know,
No, I struggle with that all the time because like I tried to fix, manage, and control him. I tried to love him clean. I tried to smother him with my kids clean. Like I tried to do it all. He lived with us for a little bit. His addict behavior and the chaos that comes with all that. It just kept hurting my
Comes in
family.
waves. It comes in waves, and each wave is bigger.
Right. And my daughter and him were so close. Like like they were peas in a pod. They loved each other, and it just was so hard for her. And she's 13 and she goes to counseling, and her main topic is pop. That is her, she has a pop journal. Like it's been hard. So walking away from him wasn't just for me, it was for my kids because I, and he doesn't understand. He thinks I just abandoned him. And that's, I don't want him to feel that way, but I
I,
feel
I,
like he abandoned me. Like
I
fuck. I mean, he's the most loving, caring man. I love him more than I can ever say when he's sober. But when he
yes,
is using, he's a piece of shit.
yeah.
He
No, I didn't.
talks to me like a piece of shit. Like he would never talk to me that way as my dad. I call him my dad, and then I call him Larry when he's the addict.
Right. I know that. Again,
I have to separate the two because I don't want to see them both the same. You know, like I can't envision my dad doing the things that this addict Larry does. It's painful.
yeah, no.
So loving an addict is really tough. And I, when you think about, not wanting to get clean or all the things, think about your kids and think about your wife and think about the people that really want it for you and the pain that is caused by your reactions and actions and consequences of all that. And maybe it's a little bit easier to go, maybe I should stop smoking weed, or maybe I'll try it for them. Even if it's not for you, maybe make it be for them. And then eventually it can become about you.
Right. I mean, hope. I mean,
Because you may not be causing pain right now, but
right.
doesn't mean that
What
in the,
what made me, that's what made me give up the all the rest of the shit. I mean, I would I would come home on these up and down days, or I would come in these up and down moments, and like I said, it was always like in the back, like hey, you're fucking up. What are you doing? Shut the fuck up. I got this. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, shut the fuck up. I got this. You know what I mean? Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and keeping going. But then I would get these moments where it was like, I'm exhausted. I'm fucking. What am I doing? What am I doing? Look at this little girl that's looking up to me. What happens if I go back to jail and fucking I can't help her out or do the thing? This fucking lady that's been here so much, you know what I mean, all the times. And then I look back at everything and I'm like, I understood why my daughter's mom kept my daughter away from me. Yeah, I understood that. I understood that for various reasons. You know what I'm saying? And at first I was pissed, but then kudos. You know what I mean? Kudos. I mean,
I'm sure that wasn't easy for her.
no, no,
Even though she was probably mad at you, hating on you. When you're angry with someone, it's a lot easier. I wanted to be angry with Larry for so long because anger is easier than sadness. But, her sticking to that, I mean, that you can't, you can only respect that.
yeah, no. I was, and like I say, I see her from time to time. I think there'll be a moment maybe where it might be she might let me we might figure stuff out, because I see her from time to time looking on my pages and stuff, like, so she's trying to figure out what what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So that was another thing. That was a big thing for me too. That was the main reason why I went down that rabbit hole with everything else. I mean, even at this time, I could probably say weed was the gateway in that moment too, when I started the meth and everything, because the weed was making me go to sleep, not letting me stay up all the time, and it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. You
Well,
know what I'm
weed's a
saying?
downer.
Well, yeah, well, I understood that, but at the time I was going through so much fucking emotion and shit, so much, crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Losing my daughter, getting one of the best relationships that I had. You know what I mean? Just fuck doing Paul. You know what I mean? Doing the Paul move. You know, she was right. I fucked up everything. And I understood that. Listen, I could. countlessly, and everybody that I sat down with, and was some type serious, I fucked that up. I get it. That's something that I'm trying to change. That's just something I'm trying to change. You know, that's some of the things that I don't want to go to the grave with. You know what I mean? Being that type of person.
But you were saying like I would be like, oh, I'm doing all right, or oh, I'm fucking this up. See, that's your addict and yourself talking
Right.
to each other. The devil and
Yeah.
the
Right. Right.
angel.
Right. 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 Yeah. The voices. The voices.
Right. And they
Yeah.
both sound the same.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. 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 No. I know. I know. I've had them. I've had those voices many times, many different occasions, many different scenes, many different sets.
But that's
They have.
also why when you like go into a program and then you get the sponsor or you get your network and you start running things by people, it's because all of the decisions, like maybe not all, but probably 99% of the decisions you've made were probably not good ones.
Yeah. No.
Right?
Yeah.
So
No.
if you
I
say
know.
to your friend, network, whatever, hey, this is what I was thinking of doing, and they might be like, maybe take a minute, or
Right.
maybe not do that.
Right.
And then you start to really get comfortable talking to people about making, even if you talk about it with a couple different people. Like I considered visiting Larry, and I really want to see him, but it hurts me and it will just send me down like a sad spiral, and then it will trigger me, and then I might bring him back into my life, and then it destroys things, and it's not good for my mental health. So I
Well, I
talked to
mean,
people about it, and I actually took their suggestions, and I didn't go see him.
hey, listen, I give you some advice too. So I had kind of like the same situation with Pam. Pam was, I was doing good. I had the boys. You know what I'm saying? And man, I was doing so fucking good. And she got locked up. The FBI agents came to the house and shit, and they were like, this lady. I told my kids to go back in the house because we was about to go do laundry. You know what I mean? So told him to go back in the house, and I'm like, yeah, I know that lady. What's up? Yeah, you seen her now? And if I did, I ain't gonna tell you. You know what I'm saying? But no, I haven't heard from her. You know what I'm saying? So after that day, I started thinking, emotions started running because I heard her. I heard her before. I didn't hear her. There was no hearing her. You know what I mean? Nobody brought her up. Nobody
Out
did
of
nothing.
sight, out of mind.
Out of
A lot
mind.
easier. Yep.
So when they brought her up, I was like, huh. Plus, I was raising the kids myself. I had two jobs. I was working at night. Paul was 12-ish, not 13 yet. We were in North Philly, West Oak Lane. Keon was like 6, 7. They were young still. So I was like, I asked them. I said, yo, your mom's in a little bit of trouble. You know, she's always helped me. Should I help her? Give her a place to stay. You know what I mean? Knowing that the courts and stuff said no way. You know what I mean? Don't bring her around. She has to go through the system to get it done. And I did it. And it was like everything after that, I seen the addict behavior versus Pam. You know what I mean? Like I seen it. And damn, it went so fast. Got the kids taken from us. It went so fucking fast. So fast. And we had a plan. We had a fucking plan. And we had a fucking plan. I'm sorry. That's just some shit that, went down that just never got fixed before she left. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the moves that was made, everything that was made. Nobody really knows what happened except for maybe little Paul, because everybody else was still a little young. You know what I mean? But the decisions and everything was made. Everybody had made false accusations and everything. So it made the kids kind of like, not fuck with us. But it didn't me and Pam were supposed to, let them know, like, what really went down. You know what I'm saying? Everything that went down that way, it kind of would like, I didn't want to clear my name, but I kind of like wanted them to understand, like, I made those decisions because I wasn't mature enough to do it. So the decisions that I made to put you where I put you was the only best decisions that I could do for you at the time because I wasn't strong enough to do it myself then. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't do it. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me. I couldn't get my mind to say fucking do the right thing. I knew I had to do the right thing, but I couldn't get it to change. Like
The addiction.
Addiction.
You can beat
I was
yourself
talking
up, but
about
that's what
selling
it is.
drugs. You know what I mean?
It's a
Besides go get the job, I'm talking about selling drugs. You know what I mean? Like when I'm working at Heckinger's, instead of working at Heckinger's, what I did? I wanted to go credit card fraud. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just that fucking stupid. Instead of working at Taco Bell's, I want to go rob somebody. You know, I had those jobs. I wasn't really, you know what I mean? I was fucking young. I was fucking having a good time then. You know what I'm saying? But that's what was happening. Those were
Those
those.
behaviors are because that's addict behavior.
I mean,
That's not clean behavior. When you're clean, you don't make those choices, and
no,
if you
no,
do, then
no,
you're
no.
really
See,
fucked up.
that's where I think, I'm really bad at that. I'm really bad at impulsive. Like seriously, like that's when I tell you, I could do this shit sober. I could do it high. I just now, because I'm getting older. I stepped the fuck back because I'm not. I don't want to go to jail. When I got that DUI and they told me I could spend 6 months to 90 days, 90 days to 6 months in jail, I almost fucking passed out. I almost fucking passed out.
Because you can
I
see
could
the
do shit so
consequences.
yeah,
You can see that there are.
I'm so fucking bad at fucking it doesn't matter. Like I was trying to tell my wife, I was like, yo, my attitude is my attitude. Yo, I'm a fucking snap artist. I don't trust nobody. Like the wall has not came down. I don't know how to fucking fix that. You know, that's what I don't know how to fix. That's where I'm at.
I'm going to trauma therapy right now and trying to work on that because I don't trust anybody either.
Right. You know what I'm
I
saying?
wasn't I wasn't taught that as a child. My mom and dad were teenagers and they didn't teach us basically anything. I had no
My
skills
mom
like
was
that.
whooping my
I'm in
ass.
survival mode all the time. And when she said all this stuff, I was like, oh my God, the only consistent person in my life has been my sister. She's been my mother and my father and my sister my whole life. And the trauma therapy is, I mean, like EMDR therapy is what it's called. And it's incredible. I haven't done
Yeah, you
the
gotta send me the information to it. Maybe I'll look
I've
into
only
it.
been doing the therapy part right now, and then we're gonna get to the other part. But just knowing that, like, because I can't make connections. Like you and I have been friends for since eighth ninth grade. Like and we've come and gone, and in through life or whatever. But we've always come back to each other. And
Right, right.
Heather's been my consistent friend as well. But I can't make connections and then keep them because I always keep people far enough away to not get to know me. Because if they're going to reject me, I can't deal with that. I can't deal
Or
with
if they even
rejection and
just did some
abandonment.
fuck shit.
Rejection and abandonment are huge,
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
constantly in survival mode
Mm-hmm.
and fight or flight, like wanting
Fight
to,
or
like,
flight.
nope, I don't trust you. You're lying to me. You're out to get me. My husband's always said that. He's like, why do you always seem like you're like, I'm not out to get you? I'm like, well, somebody is.
Yeah, hey, listen, I'm on the same shit. I'm on the same, listen, on the fucking same shit. Like, it's crazy. And at the end, like I said, at the end, when I started talking, and then, like I said, all I learned different. I start grasping on the things different. So by me listening and hearing the stuff that you're saying, like I start and I put all those shits together and everything. You know what I mean? Because I'm a dissector. I don't know if that's the word or right termination, but I will dissect the fuck out of a situation. I will dissect the fuck out of a situation before the situation even occurs. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Overanalyze and stuff.
like
Yeah.
it's like I expect the worst but hope for the best type scenario. And I know that's a fucked up scenario, but that's how I live.
I
And
always
everything I
expect the
think about
worst.
it fully. I think about the consequences. I think about the pros and the cons, and I weigh them out. I don't give a fuck what kind of pros or cons. I'm weighing them the fuck out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like and it's like my brain never gets a rest. And those are the things that I be working with. So some of the stuff that I came up with, but I was like, we sit here and we attack the addiction, we attack the substance, and this thing up here is such a. Somebody said, take your mind with you, get your body to take your mind. I don't think that's possible. I don't even think it's physically possible to get your legs to take this anywhere.
I don't think I've ever heard that. But like,
Yeah, I
so
just
the
heard that the
reason
other day in one of these things. I'm sorry to cut you off, but yeah, just in one of those things I heard that.
Yeah, I mean, with the whole thing that you were just saying before that, with the addiction, like, yes, the drugs are, you're addicted to drugs, and they're hard to put down, and you got to put it down. But when you put that down, it's not like the addiction and all the thoughts and the feelings and all the shit that's in your head that you're like the reason you used. It didn't go anywhere. It's still there, which is why when people don't work on the things that got them there, they're going to pick up and use again. That's why I always talk about the recovery and the doing the step work. You literally have to do all those things so that you can go, oh, that's why I used. Addicts want connection. They want to isolate, but they need connection, right? I love to isolate. I can be all alone. I can do everything alone. I feel like it's just me. I'm the only one I can rely on. But I like desire connection. I want it so bad.
Me
I
too.
just don't know how to fucking do it. I don't know how to get it and hold on to it.
And I want it to be I want the connection to be exactly the right fucking fit. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like
Yeah.
damn. You know what I mean? Like yeah okay yeah and see that's what I knew. But I knew that there will always be different perspectives on what is going on. But I knew we were kind of like the same. But I knew there was different connection. I knew there was different. We were going to have different outlooks and stuff. But like I said, I mean, I can't not. I mean, if I was clean, if I was totally clean, I might be able to not. I might be able to fight with you, but I can't do that at that time. Can't fight with you about the addiction part of the marijuana. I can't. As much as I want to, I just can't. But what I will say is, not saying that it's a lost cause, because at the end of the day, I do know that I have to stop smoking soon. I get this bad phlegm and shit, plus smoke, and I asked the doctor. He said smoke scars the lungs up. And man, I'm trying to really put life back on it. I'm not going to put a date on it. I wouldn't put a time on it because that's not what it is. But I mean, just in the back of my heart, just the back of my mind, that's always not going to be. I don't want to continually do it. If it's going to harm me. And I've always been like that. If it's going to harm me now that I'm trying to live, I have to figure out how to get rid of it. You know what I mean? That means my peace. So right now, a lot of other things is taking place. And again, I might be making excuses. But a lot of other things is taking place to where I don't think that I'm ready to do that part until I get some other stuff situated and straight in my life right now. You know what I mean? Because, they say one thing at a time, baby steps. Yeah,
You
I'm going to use
justifying the
the.
shit out of it. There
Yeah,
you go.
you already know. You know what I'm saying?
I know. You said it and you immediately knew that it was bullshit. Yeah.
But you know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
awareness. You
I'm
can't
gonna,
you can't keep lying to yourself. Now that you're aware, you can't keep lying to yourself. So now you're just okay, you're
yeah,
aware.
I'm on a ticking
Let's
time.
sit with the awareness for a little bit, right?
Right.
Sit with that for a little bit.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And then maybe you'll go, you know what? I can't keep lying to myself. Let's do something different.
Yeah, no. I mean, my next step is to do the edible thing, and I already know that's going to be a bunch of bullshit too.
Well, because you're just changing one thing for another
Right,
again.
right. But that's what I'm saying. So the bullshit part of it, I'm hoping it'd be like,
How about we just maybe try to not do it?
yeah.
Remember we talked about
Yeah,
getting the
we did.
medication.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Going to
We
your
talked about
doctor, saying, "Do you
medication.
tell it? Be 100% honest with your doctor and say, this
No,
is where I'm at. This is what I do. I'd like to stop."
okay. Yeah, I'll try that one. I go see her. I forget when, but I go see her soon anyway. The medication lady. So
Because taking medication for what you're, for your issues,
I know they got a lot
isn't
of stuff.
working if you're medicating with other things.
Right.
That's why
Well,
you never. That's why you've never gotten the full effects of the medication, because you're using other things.
you keep saying that. Oh my god.
It's the truth. Talk to your doctor. She'll tell you.
Yeah, no, no,
I
no,
mean,
no,
I'm
no,
not
no,
a
no.
doctor.
I've talked to her, and then, but they all know. So I would figure that they were giving me as they were prescribing because they all know that is a prescribed. That's prescription. You know what I mean? Like that's on all my document. I'm just.
They're just giving you.
I'm
They
just.
don't give anybody a fucking weed card. They don't even give a shit what it's
I
for.
get all right. I listen.
Excuse me, can I get a
That's
weed card? Sure. Here, they just hand them out like
oh
fucking
my god.
like.
I gotta get air in this place. No, I got air, but listen. Uh, yeah, no. I know. Listen. Okay, whatever. I know what you're saying. I know.
Anybody who's smoking weed is like, oh well, I got a medical card. It's
Right. I know
fucking
what you're
big
saying.
deal.
But
You're
as
only.
I'm so what I'm saying is the people prescribing me all the medication when they ask me, "Are you still on marijuana?" I'm figuring that they are taking their educated guess and be like, "Okay, well, this medication ain't gonna work with that, right?"
You might need to get a new fucking doctor if this doctor's still not like seriously.
No,
Get a doctor that you can't manipulate.
I'm not manipulating her.
I'm just saying,
I'm gonna, I'm gonna.
if she's not saying, well, weed is probably not helping with this antidepressant, then she's a fucking he or she is a fucking moron.
All right, I'm gonna ask. These are the questions that I'm gonna ask her. You know what I mean? I listen. My one
You can
doctor.
even Google it and ask AI.
Listen, my
Do you
one
have
doctor.
Chat GPT?
I,
Chat
I don't.
GPT will be
I don't
fucking
believe
honest
it.
with you.
I don't believe it.
I love chat.
Yeah.
I'll chat it when we get off of here and I'll show you
Yeah,
the
and
answer.
give me the answer. Hold on, I gotta turn this air on real quick. I'm fucking dying. It's probably like 2,000 degrees outside, and I'm sitting here like I'm a fucking champ. But anyway, no, I'm gonna ask her. I'm gonna ask him. Definitely, definitely gonna do it. And listen, my one doctor. That's what I was gonna say. My one doctor, he told me straight up. He was like, "Yo," because I was trying to blame this on the Risperdal, and he was like, "Yeah, nah, that's the weed." I said, "Man, get the fuck out of here, bro." You know what I mean? Like, my doctor was like, "No, that's the weed." He was like, "Yo, you gotta stop
What's the
smoking."
weed?
That this joint turned into a nipple, like a titty, almost. Like it's not,
Well, yeah.
it's not like it used to be all sexy and shit. That is joint, that is joint just look like a saggy old bitch butt titty and shit, old female titty, a little titty too, not
I
even a
think they're
big.
bigger than mine.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Getting self conscious now.
yeah, no. No. I'm trying to get over that though, because that was one of my big. That's another thing. One of my biggest things. Like I didn't want to never be like all deformed out and shit, and then I ended up getting surgery here, which messed up this arm. So this arm didn't start looking right, and then one day this shit's happened, and I was like, but that was all going on when I was doing meth and I was in and out of jail. And I wasn't really taking care of myself. And then it got to the point where I was like, oh my God, look at this disgusting thing. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. And as soon as I came off of drugs, let me tell you something. I aged fast.
I don't think it's after you came off of drugs. It's
I
probably
think it is.
just you just probably noticed it.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe
You didn't have your high
that
glasses
was
on.
good. That
Well,
was good.
your meth glasses on.
There you go. Because guess what? You're right. You're right. So that was good the way you put that.
Because
Because
my dad looks old as fuck right now. I mean, he is. He's 68, but he aged like 10 years from meth.
I mean, now that I look at it, when my mom said she was an alcoholic, and then I mean, I might be able to agree with her because, like I said, I mean, she was a beautiful lady. She went from one extreme to the next, like that, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought my dad was a handsome guy, and now I'm
yeah,
like, what the
yeah.
fuck
No
happened?
pause. Yeah,
He
definitely.
looks like a crackhead.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen him, but I believe it. Last time I seen him, like I said, I was in the little slammer dammer wedding. Good times.
Yeah,
Good.
how weird was that, huh?
It was a little weird, but I think you know. Because who he was and everything, you know what I mean? I made sure motherfuckers was, because he had a little beef, you know what I mean? I made sure that shit was good. It was like with Mike Neisler. Mike Neisler and fucking whoever, Rosie's brother. That's who it all had to do with. I think he was Rosie's brother, Bunky at the time. And I don't know what it was, but they was bitching. I didn't even know he was down there. So they had called me down there, like, you know what I mean? They was bitching about it. I was like, man, let me go see who the fuck is down here. I went down and he was in two, all curled up, and then he turned around when the door opened. Get the fuck out of here. He noticed me before he's like, Paul. I'm like, Yeah, like, Larry, I said,
Who's
oh,
this old man?
I said, oh, shit. Yeah, nah, I shut the door. I was like, yo, go ahead, sleep. I was like, yeah, y'all ain't fucking with him. You know what I mean? Like, I can't let that go down. So he was cool after that. I ain't like Rosie brother anyway. And Mike Nizer, I had beat him up a couple times anyway because he's a bitch. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. I love everybody.
I
All
don't know
right.
who he is.
Yeah, right. You probably do. Nah, not really. Yeah, not really. One of them little clowns I used to hang out with when I was playing in the circus. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be a fucking in the circus and shit. Trying to join the Barnum and Ringley circus. Got anything?
No?
All right. So, again, on your past, change your future. Till next time. Let it record too. Let it upload.
Okay.
All right, before you turn it off. All right, love you.
Love you.